Planet of the Fakes, and Pig Star HH News. Chief Craig calls for 7:30 p.m. press conference to release a video showing man's death by Detroit police. Hakeem Littleton, orange shirt pictured appearing to point gun in police video. Detroit Fox 2. Detroit police have released video of the officer-involved shooting that left a man dead at McNichols and San Juan. The video appears to show the suspect interfere with the arrest of another man and pull a gun, firing at police. A young man who's been identified as Hakeem Littleton was shot and killed by officers after he apparently pulled out a gun and fired twice at close range on an officer. Detroit Police Chief James Craig said he fired twice at the officer and that it was a miracle the officer was not struck. 3 officers returned fire with 4 shots, and Littleton is said to have kept firing at the officers as he fell to the ground, shooting 2 more times, but missing police. Littleton said, "You are not going to take my man, in other words take him into custody," Craig said. He pulled a gun from his left pocket at close range, nearly missing the officer. "I would estimate the suspect was 2 or 3 feet from our officer. As the Littleton raised the gun in his left hand, he was aiming at the head of the officer. 3 officers returned fire. Littleton continued to fire even as he was on the ground." Hakeem Littleton, orange shirt, appears to point gun at police in DPD video. Littleton was wearing an orange shirt as police were arresting a suspect, Darnell Sylvester, in a 4th of July shooting from last weekend. The police account of what happened is that Littleton got into a struggle with officers and, while being held down, grabbed a gun and shot at an officer over his shoulder. Chief Craig said multiple officers then returned fire. But witnesses say Littleton didn't have a gun and that video shows a different account of what happened. Witnesses gave a different account and said Littleton didn't have a gun. Fox 2 has learned from a source that the video being released is that of Detroit police. It's unclear though still if it's from an officer's body cam or dash cam. Meanwhile, a crowd of protesters gathered at the site of Littleton's death and are marching to Detroit Police's 12th precinct. This is a developing story and will be updated with details from Chief Craig's news conference. Full video link in the description. Like, follow, share, subscribe and comment, hit the bell. And, if you have time, thank you very much. Go to www.amore